As you can see, in the United States it has greatly increased over the last 30 years, and in the United Kingdom it has increased over the last 150 years. It also shows the correlation between sugar consumption and the obesity rate.
At 23, I was considered severely obese by weighing 231 pounds. I decided to change my life. My name is Natalie Basma.
Over the age of 19, in the United States, 31 million people are obese and almost 60 million people are overweight. Reasons why so many people are obese can be contributed to these factors, but the major reason for obesity is linked to sugar intake in processed food.
Mainly refined sugar plays a huge role in obesity in the United States. For years we thought that fat was the big problem in obesity. But by trying to limit the fat for the last 30 to 40 years in the United States, we've been completely unsuccessful in stopping the rate of obesity. In fact, the incidence of sugar in any source, either refined, sweetened beverages or otherwise, has rapidly increased and is almost matching the rate of obesity and overweight people in the United States.
Studies are showing that sugar is causing many health problems, and more studies are yet to be done.
So what is this stuff? All right, so high fructose corn syrup is 42% or 55% fructose. Okay, here's fructose over here. 5-membered ring. This becomes very important when we talk about the toxicity. Here's glucose over here. 6-membered ring. You'll notice they are not the same. And anybody who tells you a calorie is a calorie, okay, is part of the problem, not part of the solution. Because a calorie is not a calorie. Because glucose and fructose are not the same.
Fructose is the sweet stuff that's in sugar, and high fructose corn syrup, sugar's newer and cheaper twin. Fructose can do damage to your body in ways we are just beginning to understand.
Table sugar most commonly comes from sugar beets and sugar cane.
Sugarcane juice contains sugar, dirt, and pieces of cane pulp. From there, calcium hydroxide is added to the juice and carbon dioxide is bubbled through the mixture, which helps to clarify the juice by creating insoluble calcium compounds. The calcium hydroxide also raises the juice's pH level. With the help of polyacrylamides, calcium compounds, muds, and other impurities are filtered out of the juice. Next, the juice travels to a filter where it is treated with activated carbon. After being filtered, the juice is sent through an evaporator to remove water, causing the juice to thicken. The juice is then sent to a boiler where it is heated in a vacuum and fine seed crystals are added to aid in the formation of sugar crystals. Crystallization leaves behind a substance called mother liquor that will ultimately be made into molasses. To separate the sugar crystals from the mother liquor, they are put into a centrifuge. The final product is raw sugar, which is ready to be refined into white sugar. The refining process begins with affination, where the raw sugar crystals are melted into a syrup, dissolving the remaining molasses. Then the sugar is washed. From there, the sugar is clarified and decolored, either with phosphoric acid and calcium hydroxide or with calcium dioxide. Finally, the solution is boiled one last time to concentrate it into white granulated sugar crystals.
When trying to change my diet, I looked at food labels all the time. I found that companies would give sugar several names in order to disguise how much is being put in. There are many sugars and many of them end in ose, like dextrose and maltose. So watch your labels.
And we are talking about an addiction this week. It is a Sugar addiction. Americans have no idea how addicted they are to sugar, and it's such a realization when you realize how dangerous it is for your health. So you say millions of people are suffering from a sugar addiction without realizing it? Millions. And how so?
It's a complete epidemic. I don't think that we realize we have an obesity epidemic. Sugar's responsible. We have a diabetes epidemic. We have all of these issues, and sugar is largely at fault.
In 2007, scientists studied sugar addiction by looking at behavior and chemical brain changes during 3 stages when rats were given a sugar solution and addictive drugs. They concluded that there were extremely similar results between the rats. Addictive drugs almost has the same effects as table sugar.
So sugar is very addictive too. Can you explain why?
Sugar would be illegal if it were introduced today. Do you know it's just a few chemical molecules different than the chemical makeup of cocaine? That's a really, really powerful thing to think about, and what qualifies something as addictive. Having just a little bit creates a desire for more, and suddenly taking it away causes withdrawal symptoms. Or you just did a 21-day detox, and then when you add it back in, what? You get a headache, you get mood disorders.
I went and had brunch, and I was not feeling very good.
Originally, I weighed 231 pounds, and in 4 years, I lost 84 pounds. Here's how I changed my lifestyle. I stopped eating junk food, I watched my food labels, and eliminated fructose in any processed foods. I also switched up my tea. Instead of sweetening it with sugar, I would add honey. Whenever I craved something sweet, I reached for some fruit or made my delicious green goddess smoothie. Changing my lifestyle was the best thing I could do for myself, and changing your lifestyle could be the best decision you ever made.